Sound check. Welcome back to 1111 True Crime. I'm back again with ya and my very favorite private eyes, as well as all of you that just choose to tune in, whether you're in the live audience well, there's my sound check, right? And my replay crew. I want to thank you all for joining in. I have a lot of questions, and if you just watched, which I highly recommend doing, our last live, which is about that timeline, and is the evidence staged in the Nancy Guthrie case? That's one thing I really want to know. I talked about the timeline being very confusing. I also talked about, is there a connection? Savannah Guthrie did the interview with Virginia Guthrie, who was a survivor, a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. How interesting that Virginia named Trumpet and ex-Prince Andrew. And then Savannah Guthrie's mom disappeared, as if to say, shut up, Savannah. Don't be giving platforms to the Epstein victims. And then Prince Andrew was arrested. And it's just too tight of a nutshell. So today we're going to hand it over to the board, and I'm going to pull some cards. Now in this live, I'm going to do the reading. It'll be my turn first, and I will do a reading. I will pull cards, and I will show you whatever comes out. But you guys, even though I'm an amazing tarot reader, and I am quite good, I'm going to hand it over to you guys on the next live, where you get to ask all the questions, and I'll pull the answers for you on that one. All right? So we have two lives, this one and the following, and then we just got done with a live. I invite you to check it out. That being said, everything I share with you is my humble opinion. It's my interpretation of the cards, and I encourage you to get your own opinion, right? You may see it completely different in the story that the cards offer, and that's fine too. That's very fine. Carla. Aw, thank you, lovely. Thank you, Carla, for the $10 snooper chat. Thank you. Thank you, Mama D, for all you do. Aw, that is so kind. I greatly appreciate you. All right, you guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started in the reading. Now, keep in mind, I got this camera, I got this camera. I'm not a professional camera person at all. Let's just do this. Nancy Guthrie and the connections. So right away we have death. And that's what we all suspected, is that it was possibly a death of Nancy Guthrie. She may have been tricked. She may have thought that there was an emergency. Maybe the places are getting evacuated. Come with me kind of energy. And she was like, oh, okay. What else do we need to see? Show me the connections. Show me more about that motive of why Nancy was... So we have abuse and neglect. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. That abuse and neglect might not be Nancy. That abuse and neglect might be coming in through SA, through victims that are associated with, and deaths that are associated with the Epstein files. Show me what else we need to see in the Nancy Guthrie case and the connections. We have homicide. And we have this person wrapped up in a blanket with regret. Bottom of the deck. Natural disaster might be coming next. Brace yourself. Just saying, sometimes we're told ahead of time. Natural disaster could be coming next. Whether it be a hurricane or something else. We're going to leave these here. I was going to put them back, but I think we're going to build off of these today. I want to get into the Truth Oracle. Now, if you guys are looking for really good tarot deck, right? I do have all these in the shop. So just check out 1111decks.com right there. And if you want the deck, go ahead and order it. All right. What do we need to see in the motive of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance? Motive. Snake. Lie. Poison. Fertility. The snake. Think of, let me come up to the top side for a minute. Right? Snake. It made me think of reptilian. And if they're eating jerky, okay, they're reptilian, regardless if they think they're human or not. They're reptilian. The snake, I'm asking about the motive. The snake that eats its tail. The snake that eats its tail, karmic, repetitive, things that happen again and again. Bottom of the deck, rest, pause, journey, new beginning with coffee. The fertility could very well be about... All right, let's get into the tarot. Let me understand. Did Nancy Guthrie's case have anything to do with it being a message, if you will, for Savannah Guthrie? Show me the Queen of Pentacles, if true. So we have this abduction, right? The holding back. Could see it as holding back death. Four of Pentacles is all about holding on too tight. It's the greedy button. It's somebody that's holding on, holding back. So I'm asking, could this have been a message to hush Savannah and not give the Epstein victims a platform? And we've got the holding back. I would say yes. Yes. Show me this abuse and neglect. What is it referring to? If I get the family card, which is the 10 of Pentacles, the everything, that would mean Epstein salt, just so you know. Wow, so does that. That's the clarity of it. The abuse and neglect is being exposed. There might even be more coming out about homicides, obviously. Could be at the Zorro Ranch. We've heard about them looking for bodies. We have the star, homicide, a distraction. And look at the blood on the floor. Getting all the attention. Aquarius energy. Nancy was Aquarius as well. Show me regret. Why regret is on the board. So we have this victory is mine kind of energy, like getting your acclimates, and then the betrayal. Indeed, I think Savannah suspects that her speaking out, allowing, Epstein victims to have a voice, she now has regret because it pulled the attention to her that led to the betrayal of her mother being taken by the snake that swallows things whole, I'm hearing. Slithers around. Show me if Nancy Guthrie was taken as a distraction away from the Epstein files. Epstein files. King of Cups, yeah. There's somebody that has deep, deep emotion. So with the King of Cups, you have this, he's solid on the rock. So he looks cool, calm, collected. But underneath is turmoil. This is a king. You could see this as a president. You could see this as a prince. You could see this as a king. So with this death and holding back, I am seeing that somebody very powerful that looks cool, calm, and collected is nervous. The water is churning, but he looks fine. I brought up the abuse and neglect of the Epstein victims. I was asking if that abuse and neglect could be about them, being that I feel this is a distraction from the victims themselves. And we have an Ace of Sword for clarity, so words, sword. We also have an Ace, which is yes. This is a universal clarity. And at the very top, we have the crown. Now you could see this as perhaps Charles. You could see this as trumpet. You could see this as a king of Israel. You feel me? So show me more about this abuse and neglect. Queen of Swords, truth spoken. Come at me right. And swords are words. Her words are upright. She is properly on her throne, and she is ready to receive. And this is a truth speaker. This could be the Epstein victim, and it could be Savannah. It could be, I'm picking up someone that is speaking the truth, which I believe was Virginia. Speaking of the abuse and the neglect, Ace of Swords, Epstein victim. So it appears that this situation with Nancy was caused by a very powerful king that wanted to hold the tongue, hold the story back, hold Savannah back. And Savannah was sharing a lot of the truth there by giving Virginia a platform, who was speaking about the abuse and the neglect. And that's the clarity of that. Let's get into this homicide and the attention. I think that's what's foreshadowing. So I do feel in Zorro they are going to find some bodies. Homicide. And that's where the attention is going to get focused for now. Mental imprisonment. This is what happens, is they mentally imprison the victims. It is also showing me that this mentally imprisoned Savannah to speak out because she does have children. If they're willing to take her mother, she probably has a lot of mental concerns about her family. Now, we've heard Savannah's been thinking about leaving the Today Show. Is she afraid to speak out? Mental imprisonment, because she may see this as a true threat coming from a bigger fish. I feel Savannah does have this feeling of regret, possibly blaming herself, which is unfortunate, for giving that voice, because this is somebody getting their acclimates, getting to share their story, getting others to pay attention to them. And that's what Savannah was giving Virginia, the Jeffrey Epstein survivor. Let's look at that regret with the Six of Wands. We have independent. Nine of Pentacles. It's kind of, this is independent. She might go independent. There's something about standing strong alone. Show me clarity as to why the Nine of Pentacles, because we need to understand why the Nine of Pentacles. An offer, a messenger was sent to her that was regretful. So she hasn't shared it with anybody, but she has received a message. And maybe she shared it with the FBI. She has not shared it publicly. We have a messenger. And it could be that the message that was public was the physical taking of her mother that made her feel, in a sense, alone. Independent, alone. singled out. So we have this snake, and we have the Three of Swords, and I feel like this is the Epsom salt files right here, all the snakes, the snake pit. And that's where she feels betrayed by the snakes. Show me if the snakes did this, the Epsom snakes did this to Nancy Guthrie. Yes. We got the Lovers, and that's all about, exactly, to me, the Lovers card screams Epsom's, Jeffrey Epstein files, the Epstein files, the Lovers, the physical betrayal of innocence, where the snakes, the reptilians, are harvesting the youth. Show me more on the Lovers. And you could see that as Jeffrey and Maxwell, whatever her name is. I don't even like her enough to know her name. Show me more on the Lovers. They're married or committed to each other. And this also is an establishment, contract. And that's what they had. They had contracts on them. The snake gets the contract on them. The snake could be Jeffrey getting the contracts on the Lovers. So that they had to do it, right? Children. The children card. Power over the children. Defense. And plan, defensive plan, tower. Tower for the devil. The devil's stuck. And that's going to bring happiness to the families. This is a very forward-thinking, very positive read. This is suggesting that the devil is feeling the pinch. I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to clean the table. And right in the middle of the reading, I'm going to pull back from Nancy Guthrie for a minute, even though I do feel that that was a distraction. She really was taken. I believe they tricked her and they did it to kidnap her without her fussing about it. Maybe they told her there was a gas leak in the city and that everybody was getting evacuated. Anyway, I feel that that was directly related to, sent a message that keeps Savannah, the truth speaker, in her head in mental imprisonment because of the regret that she gave a voice to someone that there was a repercussion for. However, I don't normally switch gears in the middle of a reading, but I'm going to. I need to understand more about, yes, it's time, that contract. Show me this contract that, we're to be distracted away from a contract. Yes, the communications of the files. The files, right here. The Epsom salt files. That's the communication that we are to be distracted away from. That was the whole point. As well as the communication of Savannah using the platform for the Epstein victims. And that is saying, if you talk, there'll be something to pay. This is how the snake is saying, if you talk, right, there'll be a betrayal. And that was the message. There's no doubt in my mind now. I'm right. This was a message to Savannah not to be allowing the Epstein victims platforms, which is horrific. What else can we learn? A stinky offer and a new beginning. 2 pages. We have a new beginning coming. What will be next? What will be, let's try this. This is where I'm being guided. What will the next distraction be? It will be worldwide. Communication and travel, worldwide. The next distraction from the Epstein files will be the death of someone worldwide famous. How do they die? It'll be somebody involved in the Epstein files that dies. How do they die? This is nobody on the same page. They won't really understand how this person died, maybe. There'll be confusion. They will be alone. There's a plan. They haven't taken action yet, but they've got the plan in motion already. What's this plan? This next plan? And thank you. Yeah, it's a plan. 3 of Pentacles. You know, you've got the architect there. And you've got the builder. And there's 3 of them. And they're making this church. Or whatever this is. This is the blueprint. The plan. Show me the next distraction that is planned. Queen of Pentacles could be with somebody with a lot of money. Could be about Savannah. Taken out of a bed. Work related. Karmic, something that happened in the past that caused it. Right to the sun, the clarity, which is the devil. The devil took Nancy out of her bed and traveled with her. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, sorry. Defensive, power, defensive. It was a defensive move to take Nancy. And it looks like it was to hide evidence, to distract. Is there anything in the True Crime deck that we should see of upcoming energies? I'll hand it over to you guys in just a second. Upcoming energies that we need to be aware of that could be caused. We have deep woods. Victim. Barn. So it'll be closer. Okay, so not barn, but ranch. The Zorro Ranch. That's going to be where I go. Somewhere near that property. I believe there will be victims. Not farm, but ranch. And I think the bodies will be within 10 miles of Zorro Ranch. What happened to these victims? What happened to these victims? They were tied. Rope. They were secured. And strangled. So, I believe, based on what I'm seeing here, that they're going to find multiple victims at the Zorro Ranch. I do feel that these victims will be within 10 miles of the property, but not on the property. Perhaps near it, right? 10 miles near. And I feel that they will find out that it will be strangled. They will be both strangled. Oh, there it is. In the woods. They'll be in wooded location or in a camp location. Not necessarily wooded, but a camp. Any other clues about that? Yeah, they'll be able to tell the marking on the body that it says accident. I don't think so. I think that's what they'll try to say, but it won't go. They're buried. They're going to try, look, we have self-harm. They're going to try to say this, but it's not going to work. And then we have parent or caregiver, right? Guardian or caregiver. The person that was supposed to be taking care of the girls. Interesting. So I do feel they're going to find that. I really, really do. The strangle card came up, so that's the way I feel. That will be the next big news as things come out. All right, you guys, let me shuffle this up. I'm going to ask some other questions real quick. Was Humpty Dumpty involved, and God knows who I'm talking about, in the Epstein files? Look. Hidden. He was, but it's hidden. Kept that part to himself, didn't he? He didn't release all of the files. Was Trumpet Humpty Dumpty named in the actual files? We've got hidden defense and trying to obscure things. Look at all the confusion and distractions he's causing. See, he's even paying people out to do bad things, right? Because he's stuck on this plan. He does not want the attention because it's all about partying it up. He wants to walk away from the problem because he was part of the blueprint. That's the ranch. That's the island. This is here. This is that place with all the little children. He tried to cut himself out of it. But in due time, the truth is coming. All the confusion is going to get cleared up, and we're going to find out we were being held back from the truth. And that's the biggest betrayal, because the truth is there's multiple victims, more than you can imagine, that have lost their life. Laid them to rest. The seer spoke. Empress, the universe is going to offer the truth about the death. Absolutely. God's given you the strength to face this head on. That there were contracts on these children. And there were children, giving birth to children, being handed off. It's going to be regrettable. Especially for the orphans that we're going to find out what swiftly happened to them. They were alone. They were offered up. Possibly for money. All right, my lovelies. I'm going to hand it over to you guys. I feel like you asked such good questions, and as much as I want to know stuff, I find out more sometimes when I listen to your questions and pull the cards. So with that, I'm going to take about a 3-minute break just to toilet my pups and go pee myself. And then we'll come back together. I want to say thank you incredibly much for all the support of our channel here at 1111. And with that being said, we're going to hand it over today. Sometimes we give it to everybody, even if you're subscribers, whatever. Today we're going to hand it over to the Private Eyes. And so if you are a member, Private Eye, you will have control of the live chat and be able to ask the questions. Our beautiful, amazing replay crew can tune in with me as we read the questions, and I will pull the cards for all of us to see what answers we get. I love you always and forever and truthfully to the moon and back. You be safe and you keep your little ones very close.
I was born to the dirt, I shall return when my eyes are closed. In the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome, no, I am not afraid. the darkness to the light, I feel alive. I'm a fire burning bright.